Hey everybody, this is the first IGTV video I'm going to be doing, and I want to do a quick review of the high voltage setup. First off, you're going to notice everything is messy. Wires are messy. This is not a professional job at all. The point of this is to get this working, get it dialed in, make sure everything works, and of course afterwards I can clean this up and make it show quality again. But let's do a quick overview of what's going on here. So at the front of the car, you guys have seen my videos, I tied into the high voltage battery pack output, and I'm going to a 100 amp C-curve circuit breaker. So that guy will be the first to go near the battery if anything happens. Here at the back, I have another circuit breaker. Right now I'm using only 2 of the poles. Eventually I'm going to wrap through all of them. So I'll have 6 circuit breakers basically that can trip at any point in time. Up here I have my dash, which will help me keep an eye on the temperature of the amp, as well as basically the 12 volt side of the battery, including a button to turn on the high voltage amp, which I'll cover in just a second. So we've got the 400 volts coming in to this particular breaker, which is on right now, and you can see the voltage is at 389. The battery isn't full. When it is, it goes a little bit above 400. So pretty good voltage. And then that makes its way down into the high voltage amp, and you can see it's on because the SD is lit up. Now the problem I had was, in order to run this amp, I need a 12 volt source. And I did not want to tie the high voltage system into the car's 12 volt system that my mids and highs amp is running off of. If anything ever happens, I really don't want a shared ground. I wanted to keep the two systems isolated. Eventually, I'm going to get a high voltage DC to DC converter that'll step down the 400 volt signal into 12 volts that I can use. That will help me drive a relay, which will help me drive the remote input to this amp. For now, however, I'm using a tiny little cute battery here. It's from my kid's RC car. It has enough power to power the voltmeter, and I have it feeding into this relay over here. Again, pretty dirty, but what's happening is this relay is controlled by the switch up front that I showed you. When that switch is turned on, it completes a circuit and turns the sound digital amp on, all running off of this 12 volt battery for now. Again, it's going to be recharged by a DC to DC converter. That way this 12 volt side of the house is completely isolated and piggybacks off the 400 volts and does not tie into the car's 12 volt. Again, don't want to risk anything there. So let's go ahead and turn on the switch. And what you'll notice now is we have power on this amplifier. Have the RCAs going in. You can hear the fans. Now I have not run this yet. The plan is to test it out tomorrow. And more importantly, the plan is to add a DSP right over here, which I actually have. I'll show you guys what it is. It's a Dayton Audio 8-channel. And this will let me sum the 4 signals coming in from the radio, all 4 channels, into a single mono output. And it has incredible control. It has a USB controller, so you could change the settings at any time with your phone. But it'll allow me to set the high pass, the low pass, the slope, the summing methodology, volume, and will even allow me to play music via Bluetooth from my phone. So that's going to go here. 4 channels are going to go into it. Some of the channels will go out to my 8-channel amp, and one of the channels, the mono, will go into this. For now, I'm just using the old RCA I had in the left channel. So there it is. Thing is hooked up, and tomorrow we should hear it play. Unfortunately, without the DSP, that means I'm going to get a full range signal. I'm not going to get just the low notes, but it's going to be pretty exciting to hear the subs moving from this insane amp. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'm going to answer them in my next videos, and I'll keep posting these as I continue to build the project, add more safety features, add the converters, and do everything else that I need to make this safe, and of course, more importantly, well, not more importantly, but secondhand, make it play really, really loud. The 312Ks I had in here were insane. This was basically a pain chamber with all of the bracing I have in here. No flex. These new subs that are not even broken in yet. I literally could not drive at full volume without my eyes being blurred because of the vibration. So really looking forward to this. It's exciting being one of the first, if not the first, to ever do this directly to a high voltage battery pack from an electric car. It was a ride. I did a lot of homework, but I feel very confident in the setup. All right. So until next time.